going back to the board. I think that again, the comprehensive plan speaks to the demographic, not demographic, but the how many units and how many
Hmm.
people you want, all that in the area. So we have to look at that and determine which plan is going to be best for District 5. Okay. Uh, I have not really seen all of the plans. I'm aware of the plan, and that has been postponed until February. Uh, the Fran Tate and the Jackson Height want a supermarket, a grocery store in East Tampa. Now, um, when you look at that, based on the numbers, it don't qualify.
Mm-mm.
So if you want to qualify, that means you got to have more people in East Tampa in order to make it
Yeah, you need that.
realistic.
Exactly. It does not qualify for any because of the heads and beds density as
The
well
density,
as the
density, right,
AMI. Because right
right,
now the AMI in East Tampa is $25,000. That's from the EDC. So
yeah,
we do not have
yeah,
the density correct. And
right,
although you want that, unless we create some density, you are absolutely correct.
right. So,
Let
so
me jump in there.
okay.
Okay. So when did we stop having whatever we needed? Because I grew up in East Tampa. I was born here. We've always had a Winn Dixie on Hillsborough.
Mhm, mhm,
Um,
mhm, mhm.
and I want politicians to be able to be creative. And I don't understand that we don't have the density in East Tampa to have a freaking grocery store. So I want you to do
Hmm.
some. Um, I've heard in different areas where the city, it's a city-owned grocery store. Have you guys heard of anything like that?
I've heard of a city run where it's I forgot the name. They're not actually grocery stores. They're more so different people coming together, like a
Like
market,
a co-op of some
a
sort.
co-op. That's the word. I
Co-op
apologize. A
market, yeah.
co-op. Yes, but I haven't heard of any city-owned grocery stores.
I don't know. I
Also,
want a decent grocery store. How are we going to even get people over here if we can't have a decent grocery store? Most people in East Tampa have to drive almost what, 20 minutes to go to a grocery store?
Right.
yes.
So to get to sort of tap on your question, but with a question to Pastor Scott, um, the issue seems to be one of density.
Yep.
And if the numbers don't make sense for a Publix or Trader Joe's or whatever, it just doesn't make sense. In fact, I know of one I think Kenny Russian opened a grocery store on 15th, and that grocery store is no more. So density, we have to be I don't want to say smart enough, but we have to understand what we're up against. And to the question for you, Pastor Scott, is um, like I'm going to call them the Funland housing that just got put up, and you said that it was almost full, or did I
Oh
It is
yeah,
mishear?
it's
full.
shut.
It is
It's
full.
full.
Okay,
It's full.
so going up is going to help some density here in terms of, to your point of creativity. I see you shaking your head, but
Mm.
I'm
But
asking
what did
Pastor
we do
Scott.
in the
I'm
70s?
asking
We
Scott.
moved in
Well,
Northview Hills in the 70s, and Winn Dixie was there. And it was
yeah,
the same amount of houses. And actually, there's more houses now. So what happened?
Okay,
yeah,
Pastor
yeah. When
Scott.
when
Oh,
when
you're
when I
you're
when I when I listen, that was when Dixon was there. Well, actually, before when Dixon, there was Cash and Carry. Wasn't
Hmm.
a
Yes,
Cash and Carry before that? Cash
yes.
and Carry, then Winn Dixie, and then you had up on 40th and Hillsborough. That was not a large store, but that was I can't think of
That
the
was
name
the
of it right.
Winn Dixie. That was Winn
No,
Dixie because my brother worked there. And that's where we
okay,
did all our
and
shopping.
so what their supermarkets, grocery store gonna do their own study. Okay, that's number one. You need to know that they're gonna do their own study, and if the study does not make sense to them from a financial standpoint, they're not gonna come. Now you do have a Winn Dixie down on
Hillsborough.
MLK and No, that's
And Nebraska,
and
excuse me.
Nebraska, MLK in Nebraska, you do have a Winn-Dixie there,
Mhm.
but what I've been looking into is, and I've been told that the density is not in East Tampa to really get a grocery store to come in and consider, because you just had the Winn Dixie up there in the plaza, right there on 22nd in Hillsborough. You just lost that Winn Dixie about 2 years ago. That was a Winn
Yeah.
Dixie.
Yep.
And then
Yeah.
another store came in and they didn't survive, you know.
Yep.
So density, so they're gonna do their own study. And you gotta, number one, you gotta have the density. The second thing that Allison pointed out is the AMI, the income level of people are gonna be very important as well. And
Yep.
I will tell you, Mona, that we've lost a lot of people through redevelopment in East Tampa. You got to remember now, Belma Height, all those people that used to live over in Belma Height, a lot of those people moved out. Now, and a lot of people have come in, but across the street from there, I always advocated a grocery store across the street, but they
Yes.
didn't own the property. Now, see, to me, when Jerome Ryan been there, that was an ideal place across the street on 22nd to build a
Yes.
grocery store, because you
Mhm.
had the new units coming in, you had the people there, and that didn't happen. I think they couldn't buy the property, couldn't get the property, or whatever. But that to me would have been an ideal place as well, right there on 22nd. You all know what I'm talking about.
Mhm.
Yeah.
But the grocery store would do their own study. When Dixie would do their own study, Public would do their own study, and see if the density is there, and see, does it make sense to put a grocery store there. But that is something that I've been asked to look at, and I've already started really exploring it, looking at that, and talking to people about it.
Okay.
All right.